There is a political turmoil ongoing in Pakistan, and you have spoken about it. You tweeted, as I have said several times in recent months regarding Pakistan, America is dedicated to democracy and rule of law around the world. We stand not with individual politicians, but with human rights and free speech. And you also said that my advisor tells me PTI leaders and workers are being arrested around Pakistan. This would seem inconsistent with the claim that this is just about a corruption case. You were obviously talking about the arrest of former Prime Minister Mr. Imran Khan, which has now been declared illegal by Pakistan Supreme Court, but he is still in Supreme Court's custody, even though they have released orders to release him. And ever since your tweet, there have been more arrests of PTI workers and former ministers. How do you look at the situation now?
Well, I hope that things remain peaceful in Pakistan. This is not a happy day for Pakistan and its friends around the world. I understand the arrests of those engaged in violence. On the other hand, those who are legally protesting or those who are just sitting in their homes but have been active with the PTI, it seems unusual that they would be arrested simultaneous with what is being billed as a corruption investigation.
So overall, this whole issue started when Mr. Imran Khan, the present political turmoil started when Imran Khan was removed from the government through legal way, which was a vote of no confidence. But then there has been a general perception, and Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister, repeatedly said in his speeches also that somehow the United States was involved in his removal. Later on, he backtracked and said that that was not the case. It was more of a local issue. How was USA looking at all of his statements?
Well, I certainly criticized in Imran Khan's statements that the U.S. was involved. We had hearings in which I think the State Department was quite convincing that we were not involved in that. And I'm glad that Mr. Khan has backtracked from that. I think there are a few elements here in the U.S. government who are just rooting for whichever side they think will be easier for bilateral relations. But I think the majority here in Washington are so dedicated to democracy and human rights that whoever gets elected in Pakistan through a free system, we will deal with that person. And we've dealt with Mr. Khan, and frankly, when he was in power, I had some criticisms of how Sindhi activists were treated, how Hindu girls, some terrible things happened. And of course, from an American perspective, Dr. Afridi remained unjustly imprisoned before, during, and after Mr. Khan's prime ministership. So, but it's not a matter of who we're going to cut the best bilateral deal with. It's a dedication to elections, democracy, free speech, and peace. And I'm hoping that that ultimately that there are elections, that the ruling of the court is upheld and carried out, and that the people of Pakistan will speak.
So it has now been a year of, let's say, very peaceful protests done by PTI ever since they've been voted out of the government. They walked out of the parliament, but they had their government in 2 provinces. And it has been peaceful throughout. It's a 22-year-old party, and there has never been any vandalization witnessed before. Now that the situation has reached where human rights are being violated, it's stop and search. Women have been harassed. Women have been taken in custody just for protesting. There have been peaceful protesters who have been arrested. This is, again, a matter of human rights. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I can see why PTI supporters would be particularly enraged at this time, but I'm hoping that everyone acts peacefully and legally. And of course, this happens at a terrible time for Pakistan as a country, because things are not, you've got economic problems, and of course you've got the IMF.
Yes.
So This is a tough time, a time for peace, and a time for all sides to follow the law and to follow elections.
And you've rightly mentioned IMF approval is absolutely important for Pakistan. If the funding doesn't come in, experts are fearing that we may go towards a default. How will that be looked at? You understand South Asian politics very well. God forbid if Pakistan goes towards default, because all the experts are saying that there is a glaring chance of that. How will that affect the region?
I think that would be terrible if it actually leads to a default, and yet people react to the videos that they've seen, and it's hard for a banker to look at those videos and say that's a safe loan. I'm hoping that the government will follow the law, that those who are against the government will follow the law and be peaceful, and that a deal will be worked out with the IMF. It's possible that next week will be a good week for Pakistan, but things obviously don't look good now.
So what will be, what in your opinion is the main reason for the delay in this funding? And what will be a practical time for Pakistan to think that by that time maybe things will be in a better condition?
Well, there's negotiations on economic policy. I haven't looked at some of these details recently, so I can't opine on that. But obviously, the rule of law and peace are important to anyone making a loan to Pakistan, and so recent events are certainly not helpful, and a return to normalcy is a very important part of getting that IMF loan.
So when you say return to normalcy, will that mean an election, a general election?
Well, again, I'm not a scholar on Pakistani law. It's my understanding that the courts have ruled that there should be a Punjabi election very soon, and that the last legal date for an election is nationwide is October. I've asked experts at the State Department to advise me on whether those conclusions are true, but everyone else tells me that they are. And if that's what Pakistani law requires, that's what should happen.
And if you allow me, we will bring Dr. Asif in this debate as well. And if you will pardon me, I will ask the question in Urdu and he can respond it the way he wants to. So Dr. Asif, इस turmoil पे आपने सुन भी लिया जो Brad Sherman ने कहा, आपके पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी कैसे देख रही है इस तमाम मामले को USA में?
Thank you so much, and I do want to respond a little bit in English that I am so thankful and really indebted to Congressman Brad Sherman for standing up for human rights and democracy and helping so many nations globally, and especially taking interest in South Asia and being very helpful in many junctures to Pakistan. And I am really, I don't have words to express that appreciation. पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी जो यहाँ पे है, पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी मैं इस चीज़ पे आपको कह सकता हूँ कि यूनानिमसली 95% प्लस इस चीज़ पे कन्विंस्ड है कि फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन इन पाकिस्तान एंड peaceful transfer of power, whoever wins the election, is the most important aspect at this time for Pakistan to survive, Pakistan to progress, and Pakistanis, like 250 million Pakistanis, survival too. तो इस वक्त मेरा नहीं ख्याल कि गवर्नमेंट के पास, अथॉरिटीज के पास कोई और चॉइस है बट टू क्विकली मूव ऑन फ्री एंड फेयर एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट इलेक्शन, और उसके बाद चीजें सही जगह पे मूव हो सकती हैं. एक चीज मैं और कह दूं कि लास्ट टाइम जब IMF की ड्यू थी जुलाई में, कांग्रेसमैन शर्मन वाज वेरी काइंड टू वर्क विद मी एंड many others and also State Department to get that deal done and move Pakistan out of crisis. तो जब एक स्टेबिलिटी आ जाती है, तो जब हम लोग यहाँ से भी ज्यादा मूव कर सकते हैं, प्रेशराइज कर सकते हैं कि things are all right, your money is not at risk, and please invest in Pakistan. Pakistan is in a huge market, और पाकिस्तान की हेल्प करना सबके लिए, नॉट ओनली पाकिस्तानीज के लिए, पूरी दुनिया के लिए बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान इज ए इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ पीस. तो ये मेरे ख्याल है कि सेंटीमेंट ये है कि फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन एज सून एज पॉसिबल.
राइट. Congressman Sherman, irrespective, you rightly said that irrespective of who is in the government, Pakistan and USA have had a long-standing relationship, but it has also seen ups and downs. Where do we see this relationship going at the moment?
I think the economic relationship has a good future. There is a tremendous desire among American companies to friendshore, and that is to say, to work with the countries other than China. Obviously, India is benefiting from this, Thailand, Malaysia, and I'd like to see Pakistan benefit from it as well. As to the relationship, I do think in Congress, I'm not sure the State Department is all that focused on it. Dr. Afridi's fate is very important to individual Americans. We have long memories, but clearly the relationship will work better if the image that Pakistan has is rule of law, democracy, free expression, peace, and that those who win elections actually get to govern. And the closer Pakistan comes to that, the stronger the political relationship, and perhaps more importantly, your listeners, the stronger the economic relationship.
Indeed. Dr. Asif, अभी recently क्योंकि अमेरिका की तरफ से भी यही तासुर मिलता रहा है कि साउथ एशिया की पीस में पाकिस्तान इंडिया एक बड़ी अहम इक्वेशन है डॉक्टर आसिफ बिलावल भुट्टो ने एक पूरा कोशिश की पीस की दोबारा इंडिया जाकर उसको कैसे देखते हैं आप
अगर आपने देखा होगा तो मैंने ट्वीट भी किया था I commended Bilawal Bhutto to taking a risk and allowing some people to go to India and basically extend the hand for better relationship and peace. I personally think कि पाकिस्तान और इंडिया की चीजें जो हैं वो very deep seated हैं. In near future it cannot be resolved. Pakistan's biggest concern at this time is पाकिस्तान अपने आप को economically stable करे. मैं आपको ये चीज बड़ी क्लियर बता दूं कि मेरी स्टेट डिपार्टमेंट में पर्सनली एवरीबॉडी हु इज लिंक्ड विद पाकिस्तान उनसे मेरी बात हुई है हर बंदा इज वेरी कीन एंड रियली ट्राइंग टू डू एफर्ट टू डू समथिंग वेयर पाकिस्तान गेट मोर एक्सेस टू अमेरिकन मार्केट एंड अदर मार्केट्स टू और America realized that कि पाकिस्तान की security जो है वो that is very important for America. But Pakistan has to do their own part. They are so much involved in some kind of stuff which is not letting them be stable. तो इंडिया से हालात अच्छे ज़रूरी हैं लेकिन I think इस वक्त फोकस ये करना चाहिए कि पाकिस्तान जो है वो अपनी चीज़ें बेहतर करे पाकिस्तान की economic situation बेहतर हो लोगों को 3 वक्त का खाना मिले नौकरी मिले और चीज़ें उस सिमत में जाएं जहाँ के पाकिस्तान ओरिजिनली few decades worth पाकिस्तान was और चीजें बेहतर हो और वो कोई चीज भी मुमकिन नहीं है जब तक स्टेबल गवर्नमेंट नहीं आती गवर्नमेंट which is represented by the people truly by people नहीं आती और उनको एक ट्रेडिशन सेट करना चाहिए कि ये हर 2-3 साल बाद एक टर्माइल खड़ा ना कर दें लोगों को काम करने दें.
So Congressman Sherman, there was a general perception that Biden administration in general and in particular President Biden were probably not very fond of Imran Khan as Prime Minister. He publicly said many times when he was Prime Minister, Mr. Imran Khan, that he was waiting for a phone call which never came. Irrespective of what has happened in the past, how is Imran Khan being looked at in US think tanks, in different administrations? What is the feedback?
There's a portion of opinion in Washington that is rooting for the side that they think will be easier to deal with. And Imran Khan was difficult to deal with as prime minister on bilateral issues. And of course, his accusation that he has stepped back from, that the U.S. was responsible for the vote of no confidence, didn't get him friends in Washington. But I think this is bigger than just our relationship with Pakistan. Our ability to influence the entire world and our ability to have cohesion in the United States depends upon a dedication to democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. And it's up to the people of Pakistan to choose their leaders under a fair system. And if that leader doesn't cut this deal or that deal with us, that's a reflection of Pakistani voters. So I think the majority opinion here is for democracy, peace, and the rule of law, and let the cards go as they do. And of course, I've talked personally with Imran Khan just in the last week or two, And he's assured me that he is not anti-American in any way and looks forward to good relations. So, again, this is not a situation where the United States is for this party or that party. There will be elections in countries that are our friends around the world, and sometimes this person gets elected, sometimes that person gets elected. What's important is that there are elections and that they're fair.
Indeed. Congressman Brad Sherman and Dr. Asif, thank you so much for giving us time.